I had this big idea to create a docu-series about co-ops, but to also include the making of into the series.
When I found out about this project, I knew that I had to reach out and I had to offer my support.
We talked a lot about our fascination with co-ops.
We decided to make this project a co-op.
We had no idea how or where to start, so we reached out to some media co-ops, hoping to find some answers.
Welcome to episode 5. I'm Vane and I attended the Worker Co-op Conference put on by the US Federation of Worker Co-ops to try and find answers for what type of cooperative we should make this project, and also to meet other co-ops doing similar work. But before we get to that, we spoke to a co-op called Bonfire Media. They are structured as a worker co-op in Philadelphia. Gabriel and Alex, worker owners, got on a Zoom call with us. We learned that Bonfire Media started at a study circle. After initially coming up with the idea of starting a media cooperative in 2015, they received support from the Philadelphia Area Cooperative Alliance to create Bonfire. They also mentioned receiving supports from Seed Commons, a loan provider that keeps coming up in our research. We're so grateful Alex and Gabrielle took the time to speak to us. Ultimately, we walked away with even more questions for our project. Should we be structured as a worker co-op too? With all these questions in mind, I booked my travel and registration for the Worker Co-op Conference held by the US Federation of Worker Co-ops in Chicago. If anyone knows what we need to do, I think they would. And I'm always dying for a chance to eat real deep dish pizza. So here I am at the 20th anniversary celebration for the US Federation of Worker Co-ops. I attended a session on bookkeeping by a co-op called Wholehearted Bookkeeping, held fully in Spanish, where I learned how to keep our books in good standing as a co-op.
So before I bring out today's special guests, I'm going to review some context.
A lot of co-ops use open book management, which means that all members of the co-op are able to lay eyes on the financials and make decisions about how money is used. But I appreciate the effort made by the conference to include Spanish speakers. Spanish-speaking Latina people, especially women, have started co-ops all over the U.S. and are still the fastest-growing co-opreneurs. The question, how do we make money and keep making money, was on my mind heavy during this conference. I went to a session on finances where I met representatives of Seed Commons and Shared Capital, two of the biggest lenders in the co-op world. They often offer patient capital at really good rates for co-ops, which means the terms for the loans they give are super lenient. And of course, another thing that's been on our mind is the structure of our co-op. It matters a ton, but it also doesn't matter as much as finding a flow for our work and building an online community that cares about what we're doing as critical mass. On this topic, Karla came up with some possible structures for a film co-op, and I'll let her explain more.
So I had these ideas for corporate structures, specifically for like movies and docuseries and media stuff. One is for consumer co-op. So I was thinking of a consumer co-op where the viewers, so like people who view the content, become supporters of the series. A member, a consumer member, a viewer member, I guess we can call them.
Yeah, viewer member.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I feel like that would give people a reason to be involved every week. What's our product? How can we make that super enticing?
Well, the product would be, the series is the product, right? That's what they're gonna watch or consume or whatever. My thinking is always what value are we offering? And I think with the digital series, it's, learning more about co-ops, learning more about the co-op ecosystem.
I feel like a consumer co-op would make sense because of how social media needs to be. So I feel like people are used to paying subscriptions, but they want to have something out of it. I wonder if a way to kind of differentiate us from regular YouTube channel is our members literally have a stake in what we make.
I like that. And I wonder if that's a good introduction for some people into co-ops and being a member of a co-op. Another one is worker-owned co-op, where every crew member of the project is a part owner, meaning that they get to split the profits and they obviously get to vote on business decisions. I was also thinking of doing some sort of a producer co-op. So critical mass would be a producer co-op We would be producers. We're getting all the same sort of like voting and membership and stuff, but we're also a little more independent in that sense, right?
I think that would make sense. Like, critical mass just contracts us to work on the project. Maybe we leave today without like a clear understanding of what type of co-op we are, but we know we've kind of established a few goals. Like, down the line we want other people to join, and we want to make that easy. We want to make it easy to step away from this project a few years down the line if we'd like to, and we want to understand what the like easiest legal way to incorporate is. I think with those questions, like, maybe we can figure it out soon.
Oh yeah, and I'm not even done traveling yet. By the time you watch this video, I will have traveled to the Bay Area in California and back to take part in the building blocks training by Cooperation Works. But this training will help me feel more confident as a cooperative developer. As a huge perk, I'll also finally meet Karla in person, in real life, after working together virtually for over 4 months. Hello. Did you say Tate?
Tate,
Hi, Tate.
here you go.